Let's expand on what I mean by which is the best format to use when providing educational content / value to your audience to attract their attention. The simple answer is, out of that entire list I gave you in the first part, is the thing we want you to use is video. Don't get too worried yet, let's coach you through this process. So video is what we would like you to use, exactly what I'm doing at this current time. Why? Well, let's go and look at the advantages of using video. Number one for me, and if you're anything like me and you're watching somebody on video, it is the closest thing to being with them in person. It's the closest thing to sitting alongside somebody in the table and talk to them face to face. Audio is good, reading them through a book is good, but nothing is better than looking somebody in the eye and having a conversation or learning from them on their experience and what they're talking about when it comes to their brand, or even think about sitting around the dinner table with your family. You're there in person. If you have a long vacation from your family, or you don't see your husband or wife for a long time, the best way to speak to them is not WhatsApp, not a phone call, but some sort of video app, whether it's FaceTime, Skype, whatever the situation is. The video makes all of the difference. So it's the best way to be real and authentic with the other person. Secondly, it's the fastest, quickest method to get content out there. Once you get good at this and once you practice this, it is literally a case of picking up the phone, pressing record, talking, educating, adding value to your audience, pressing stop, uploading that to a platform. In the case that we're talking about is social media and Facebook and Instagram and things like that. It's out there. Now, as we expand and we go into level 2 of the baton, you will also benefit from these videos in that section. Okay, so if you're watching Baton in the future and you're watching the level 2 part, when you transcribe, and this is slightly advanced, when you transcribe about 10 minutes worth of video, that equals about 1,000 words. So something we do internally within the Growth Tribes brand and the B Street brand is educational free podcasts that we put out there. These podcasts then get transcribed, and we know roughly 10 minutes equals 1,000 words. 1,000 words is a hell of a lot and needs very little editing. Normally you can just work through that and then that can be turned into a blog post, but that is more of an advanced level. So just bear in mind that these videos and the hard work you do now can be used in later levels of the baton system and the training. Now thirdly, the algorithms like it. Why? So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube of course, but they love the use of video. Because if you think about the human consumption over time, it's audio, written or visual. But nothing beats television ratings. So now we moved across to YouTube, Facebook video, Instagram television. All of these things provide visual video content. It just depends on where your audience lives, and Carl will expand on that. So algorithms like it. What I mean by they like it is you're going to gain a greater following, you're going to get more reach, more eyeballs, more attention, more audience's attention on your educational videos in accordance to your brand and your niche. So that's what I mean by they like it. The holy grail of this is live video. They like that the most, but it's also the quickest, and if you can really nail it, you become an expert at this. You can be putting out educational content every single day because you know your subject matter. So this is not a case that you have to learn it, then present to your audience. You know your subject matter, so you can go live immediately. Think about being in a scenario. So for example, if you're in the real estate game and you're selling real estate and you're a real estate agent or property agent or an investor or a sourcing company, whatever the situation is, as you walk into the house, you can go live immediately. And you can be doing a live viewing around the property and get lots of eyeballs. What you do with that video afterwards, we will expand on that later in the course. But all I'm trying to say is live video, once you get very good at it, and once you can present yourself and your business and educate your audience in a sophisticated way, and that doesn't mean you're a celebrity, superstar, movie star, it just means that you can explain and educate very simply so that they understand, or take them on a tour or answer Q&A, and we'll cover this later in the course as well. So those are the reasons why you should watch video. Use video as a format. Typically at this stage, people do get nervous with video, which is why we actually formed a communications, personal development community, which is almost like our sister partner company, where they're called growth tribes members practice their videoing and put it into the tribe, ask for feedback, and almost get that initial anxiety and fear out the way. Once they've done it a few times in the tribe, their confidence grows and they're able to put videos out there into the public, whether it's for their personal brand, their business, whatever the situation is, raising money for charity. Because if you can really learn how to do this, it starts to eliminate the competition. Because many people are genuinely scared to get on front of camera, which is why we create this community to help coach them through that. So off the back of that, let me share with you 3 tips of many that we would share with our community members. When recording, so number 1, when recording, try to record in landscape. So that's this way. The reason for that is you can use that format in multiple methods and multiple platforms, and you can do the work once and use it again and again and again. Second point, and I lean forward here, is look directly into the lens. That's the closest thing you're going to have to looking at somebody in the eye. Now, let me give you an example. This is me looking at the screen. So this is me looking at the screen, looking at myself on the screen. I have now disconnected with you as an audience. Whereas if I bring my attention back to the lens, it's as if I'm looking at you in the eye and having a conversation with you through the camera. So it's massively important, especially in selfie mode, it can be distracting, is look at the lens. Now finally, third is if you're doing anything educational or presentation or training like this, is smile or pre-recorded. That's the right way to phrase this. If you're doing anything which is pre-recorded, smile at the start and smile at the end. So when I do this training, you'll see my intros and outros. I'm starting with a smile and I hold it for about 5 seconds and I exit on a smile. So as I close out this section, keep your eye out, I'm going to close out on a smile. What that allows us to do is use in the phone, the apps or the computer, you can use the editing tool, just snip the edges very, very quickly before you put your video out there to the world. Just makes it cleaner, saves the audience time, and you grab their attention quickly. So those are 3 top tips I want to share with you about using video and also why we do video. So let's summarize this part on what format we should use.